Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. Today, we're going to South Africa, and it's going to be have a star today. And I know that you will enjoy this episode. You will enjoy the conversation. And so I ask you to sit tight, have something to write on, and really take notes because we're going to talk about women empowerment. There's a lot of work being done on women empowerment all over the world. And today, my guest is going to talk about the need for a paradigm shift in everything that we do for a woman. So, just to let you know again, my Marie Tulekima. I'm the host of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. And today is episode 180. Yes, 180. And my guest is going to be guest 226. So who is the guest? I think you probably read, on social media. Today I'm going to have two guests, but the first guest is amazing. So let me just give you a little bit, a synopsis about her. She'll get the opportunity to introduce herself. So she is my sister, and she is a woman empowerment advocate, a human resource expert, and she's also a global influencer and an author and a humanitarian as well. She's doing a lot of humanitarian work. And I'm going to add something. She's probably a model as well. So fashion, because fashion is just amazing. So let us know where you're watching from. And we will start a conversation with Khomotso. She is ready, and I know that we're going to have talking about a passionate, subject, because I'm really passionate about women empowerment, and she is as well. So this conversation will definitely be something that you're going to remember. So let's start. Come in. Let us know where you're watching from, and please don't hesitate to give to give your opinion or ask question to Khomotso to bring the conversation to the next level. So this amazing conversation with Khomotso. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Marie Tulekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily action.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others, and you are not alone.
So welcome, also welcome to the great show. I can't say, I can't tell you the excitement to have you today, but let's, take things slowly. And the first thing that I want you to do is introduce yourself to the audience. Let us know who you are. I know there's just so much about you, and really, the most important thing that you can, fit into a short time, knowing everything that you've done and everything that you continue to do. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. So just wanted you to introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, and the most important thing that you can fit into a 2-minute introduction before we start,
Okay.
The conversation.
All right. Thank you very much, Mireille, for having me here. My name is Khomotso Mashalane. I'm a women empowerment advocate. I also have a business. I'm a consultant. I'm an HR expert. I have a master's in human resources. I have worked in a corporate environment as a human resources executive, but I've decided to use my human resources expertise in the society, to use it to expand and transform lives of women in different societies, not only in South Africa, but in the world at large. And because I saw a lot of problems as far as women are concerned that were happening at work, I realized that those problems originated from the societies from which they came. I discovered that many women express themselves through the problems that they have experienced within the societies they come from. They bring those problems. So if we do not solve those underlying problems, we are only dealing with the problems on the surface. I am the person that likes to deal with problems, the root and the origin, so that when we solve them not only for this decade, but we solve them for the next generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the reason why I use my human resources expertise to transform the lives of women. And who is Khomotso? The long and short of it, because it's gonna take our time. I think that will be a conversation for another. It will be a conversation for another day. It seems as if the world loves me because I love the world. So I think it's bringing back the love that I give. So I'm a human resources consultant. I'm an author. There will be 3 books that I will be talking about in our next session. They are books about business, specifically for women, and other books that I've written. I've written an anthology with other women global leaders, and the name of the book is Divine Femininity. We wrote it in order to raise funds to build a school in Burkina Faso. Those are the other, things that I do. Like I said, I don't want to go into details. I think let's focus on the mission of the day. Otherwise, this is going to take a long time. But I'm involved in human resources and just a humanitarian work in general, because there's no point when another human being is happy and the other one is disempowered, because it's like a vicious cycle. You are going to disadvantage the very same person that you're trying to empower. So it's just about equality and humanity. That's my belief. And the reason why I focus on women is not because I don't like men. I love men. I love women. It's that I believe that when women are empowered, and that's my mantra, when you empower women, you empower the whole society. When we strengthen women, we will strengthen men as well. Women will strengthen men automatically. I mean, you and I know, no woman will just decide to sideline men. It's not in our nature. We gave birth to boys. We have sons. We have brothers. We have nephews. So it's not in our nature. And after all, this whole system of segregation, patriarchy, and all that, we were born into it. Men were born into it. Nobody's blaming anyone. That is why it has to be a collaborative effort. So that's the long and short. I have a lot that I can talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
For this introduction, I think that.
And I like what you said, because you said when women thrive or when women are empowered, it's everybody is empowered, because it all starts, with women. And and one question that I always had, because we talk a lot about empowerment, it's becoming kind of a narrative, globally. So what is really empowering woman? What do you think it's all? Can you explain for you what it is? An empowered woman, because it can be a bit vague for a lot of people. So
Yes.
what do you think it is?
And I really thank you very much for asking that question, because I always say it seems it's subject to own interpretation. It seems it differs from one person to another, and I would like us as a global community to understand what we mean, because I've realized that to some people, what women empowerment means is that there's somebody who has power somewhere, and then that person is going to take that power and give it to a woman. It's like we talk about a woman as if a woman is a subject. Nobody is a subject here, and nobody has more power. I think that's where we need to start. Everybody is born with power within them. So to empower doesn't mean there's a boss or a leader or a president or someone, whoever who's talking, who has more power is now going to take some of his power or whatever and give it to no. What we are talking about, as far as I'm concerned, that is why we need to redefine it before we can even talk about the paradigm shift or the mindset. What we need to do is to understand that we are talking about, that we mean one thing. Tell it like it is. Every woman has the power. A woman who's busy cleaning her house now has the power. A woman who's taking care of her children has the power. What we need is the tools. What women need is the space. But you see, all of this also, Mireille, has to begin with self. Before I can even go to other people, I should have started with self. Do you feel empowered? Do you know how to feel empowered as a woman? And that is something that can be taught. I can't teach you that. You have to feel that power. I'll tell you about me. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I tap into is that power. It's like when you switch on the light in the morning, or it's dark and then you switch off. If you don't switch yourself on, nobody's going to do that. We don't just exist and just move or daily, Tuesday, it's Wednesday. You have to actively activate yourself intentionally within, because everything is within you. It's not going to come from someone. What someone brings will be redirect or, just to add or encourage, but the real power is within you. So if you don't feel it, you're still gonna, we have words as women that sabotage us. We have to reprogram our self-talk and self-beliefs. We have given society so much power. We have given society permission to design who we are, to design how Khomotso must dress, how Khomotso's hair must be, how she must walk. She's not talking like a woman. She's not behaving like a woman. And it's too much. We have to start delayering those things. We don't even know those people 3,000 years ago, whoever who put those rules. They're not even here anymore. And the world is busy changing now. You see, that is why it's so difficult now. to sort of merge those values with things that are happening today. We cannot, apply ourselves with the values that were created that time. That is why it is, for as far as I'm concerned, it's urgent. If we do not transform the lives of women within these 10 years, we may not be able to do it. And I mean in a way that will change and impact the next generations, because we don't want just to talk in conferences and talk. We want action points. But that's how I understand it. But it has to begin with self. Many women, after dressing, they will go to someone. How do I look? You know what? The most important thing as a person is to be authentic. Because, and be feminine. If you feel like wearing your pink dress, that lacy pink dress that they wear it, for heaven's sake. You can't, don't think about another person. What are they going to say? Because you see, when you do that, it's eating away from your authenticity. And your power comes from your authentic self and your feminine energy. That is why we are feminine. We must never, ever, ever reduce it or, try to dilute it. We must be who we are, because that's where we draw strength and energy. That's where you draw your creativity as a woman. That's where you draw your uniqueness as a woman. That's you. That's what differentiates you. That's where your talent is going to come from. It's not going to come from me, really. Nobody's going to teach you. And that's where we begin as women empowerment. But we like to belong. Will my children be happy if I'm wearing this? Will my son be happy? I mean, it's you. Express yourself. Express yourself through clothes. If you love music, for example, I love music, and I'm not going to apologize. My kids know. I play my music as and when I feel like it, because I know that it fits into my soul. My authentic self always have to be higher. I remember, Mirele, there's one course that you gave us, and there was a takeaway from me that I'll never forget. And I kept on trying to enrich it and interpret it and understand it. And I took it with me every day. I remind myself. You said you must always elevate higher. Make sure that your frequency is high. That's what I do in the morning. In the morning, even if you try to put me down or you try to disappoint me, it's not going to work, because in the morning, I remind myself that my frequency has to be very high, because that's where I'm going to draw strength. And that's how, that's your energy. That's where you will get ideas, and the world will respond to that energy. That's my belief. That many things that happen around me happen not because of people I know. I don't know those people. I don't know you. We never met. But there's so much that you did for me. You referred me to a lot of powerful people. And that's energy. And that's another thing about women empowerment. That, I have to stick to the script, but it's the law of multiplication. If I look at myself as Khomotso, if any woman in today's world looks at herself as an individual, it's a problem. Yes, you have to, but you have a duty to multiply. Don't be a diminisher. If you look at, I think it's Liz Taylor's book called The Multipliers, it's your duty to empower other women. Don't close that door. Multiply other women. Let them be better than you. Let them be extraordinary. And that's what success is. It's not about you. It's about, the impact you make, the difference you make. And many people live for today. Oh, I bought this car and it's beautiful, this house. Let's try to live beyond ourselves and look at, the generations to come and leave a good legacy. Let us try. Yes.
Fantastic. It is so powerful. There's been so much And I'm just gonna, just do a stop here. There've been some comment. There is Suzette from she's watching from the US, and she's saying that women empowerment is helping understand and activate the power that exists on the inside of them, the power God has given us to be the best version of ourselves, which is, what
Yeah.
you in a way said about the
Mm.
authenticity. It comes from within. And that's,
Yes.
that's really the important thing. It's not from outside, it's not coming from
Yes.
anybody, it comes from within. And she
Yes.
is adding, we have to redesign ourselves. And she's
Yeah.
taking your statement, designing ourselves, and it's more about the mindset in this case, that we're looking at things. And then there's also the power. Power comes from your authenticity, and that's something that you've said as well, which is what's important. Be
Mm.
authentic, be you, and use the gift that you have instead of trying to copy somebody.
Mm.
That's really the and we have Abraham. Thank you. Abraham is watching from India. It is a perfect statement from Dr. Khomotso when she says to elevate people. Yes, and that's what Abraham does all the time. It's not just women, some men are also doing it for us. So she has made an authentic endorsement of your statement. Yes, I've been just doing what she's just described for her. And I agree with everything that she's just said. And this comment has impacted me. Yes, impact, great impact. And what I like as well is it's not about us, it's not about you or anybody, it's about humanity, it's about women. So we need to elevate women, make sure that it doesn't stop at our level. We have to elevate other women, make sure they go even further than us, because it is about, that's the empowerment that we're looking for. So we will have a short break, and we'll be back with Komoso. And I can see that there's already a lot of already quite at another level. But don't go anywhere. We'll get to continue this amazing conversation.
Having had the honor of working with and being a part of Khomotso's events, I must say I've always been left in awe of how much impact one woman can make who is deeply committed to the development of other women. Her ability to build meaningful relationships and to really provoke change in every single person she connects with has left her being one of the most highly respected women that I've ever had the honor of meeting. She's a powerful speaker who leaves people feeling energized, inspired, challenged, to really pursue the lives that they know that they truly deserve, and to overcome the challenges that life throws their way. Her Groove Back event was no exception. It was one for the books. We laughed and we danced and we cried, and we supported each other into owning our stories, our pain, and our milestones. Thank you, Khomotso, for loving, teaching, empowering, and inspiring us. Your work is invaluable in helping us succeed in both our professional and our personal lives. We love you.
Hi, my name is Mariah Priestley. I'm a politician within the United Kingdom and have been a former cabinet member for my region and my city, and also the first African mayoral nominee. Now, I support Khomotso Mashalane because she's a woman who cares. She's very, very open to new ways of working with a range of partners that she also talks about when you listen to her. And also, I believe she gets to the heart of the situation. There's no dancing around the issue. She wants to hit the situations and the problems head on, but in a collaborative way. She's a powerful speaker, softly spoken, but powerful words. Please support her today. Thank you.
Powerful speaker, and I actually confirm that. So I mean, you've touched on very deep, very deep things on the mindset and understanding for women, understanding that everything comes from within. So, what do you think are the biggest obstacle and challenges that women face, and that are actually detrimental to their seen from your work, from your research, that actually create a problem for women to get empowered?
Okay, I think, thank you very much for that question, Mira. Women must take control of their lives. They must be in charge. Don't conform. And I'm not teaching women to be radical or something. I'm just saying, do not conform. Be authentic, be you. There's only one you. And the other thing, as women, we always have conferences where we talk about women empowerment. And why I said paradigm shift, my concern is that we talk and then we leave. We talk, we leave. I think this has been happening for almost 70 years or more than that. And when you do something and you see no change, it means you have to change your strategy. Because you see, this thing of empowerment was, let's start with patriarchy and all the things that hosted inequality indirectly. Nobody is guilty. We're not blaming anyone. Everybody was born into the system. It was not done overnight. Patriarchy was not done during a conference.
Mm-hmm.
People did not come during people did not come during a conference and decide that we want things to be this way. It was a culture that was built and developed from one generation to the next over years. So you can't undo some of its systems, hosts, and institutions in a conference or in one day. You see, the whole issue of women empowerment must start with undoing certain things. It's hosted by a lot of things. You see, Mirele, it's something that has to change at the cognitive and behavioral level. And now when I talk about cognitive, it's a psychological thing. It's the language that is used. Even by other women to women, even how you relate to another woman, you need to start asking yourself, is this worth it as I do this? Are you empowering another woman? Or are you disempowering her with other words? Look at her hair, look at her back. You see, when you say those things to another woman, it affects your energy. It doesn't make you look good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe for a while, but it doesn't empower you. You see, the whole issue of women empowerment is about conceptualization as well, perceptions, the language. There's so many aspects of development. That is why in another conference, I said, I believe that schools should start to include that in a curriculum in a way as a life orientation course or subject, in a lighter way to educate boys as well, because they also don't know. Mm-hmm. Some men really are positive. I have been assisted by men, I must be honest, a lot of men. Mm-hmm. But the reason why I say women, Mirele, is because I know what gender inequality can do in other countries. When you see another woman poured with acid in another country, it's the translation of gender inequality. It's how those people interpret that. It can go to that level. Body mutilation is a child or grandchild or, I don't know, relative of what? Gender inequality. Child marriages, child labor. Women who are not allowed to put their first names on their IDs in another country. Your husband must be the one who, I don't know, is an adult in your life. You must just have the surname. They're not allowed to vote. That is something that was brought by inequality. That is why I always say gender equality is a humanity issue. Nobody can talk about humanity without addressing gender equality. That is why I said it's not because I dislike men, it's just that it's equal, it's just humanity. Because the problem is that in other countries, it translates to dehumanization, rape, killing. Many women are raped in South Africa. Many women are killed in South Africa. And it's like everybody goes on because it becomes, it's normalized somehow, sometimes. I'm not saying everybody does that, but you must understand people are not at the same level intellectually or spiritually, or I don't know. So the many interpretations of people, or these multiple interpretations of gender inequality, lead to horrible things sometimes. So it's better if you just try to level the ground, and we have to do it in a collaborative way. Understanding that it has to be a cohesive action. It really, we have to be united. As women, I can no longer afford to say Mirelle is in Australia, therefore I don't know nothing about Australia. We must understand these borders are just geographical lines, but at the same time, we are human. We were all cured by one vaccine for coronavirus. That should explain the reason why I believe that we are the same. And I worry that if we leave this gender equality, it may escalate to a certain level, after a few generations, and it may no longer be controllable because of this dehumanization of women. In other countries, it's better. Like, when you look at Nordic countries like Norway, Finland, some of them vote, they're represented in parliament and all that. And because I like to go deeper, I always, even Rwanda, I know that it's 50% women in parliament, but do they make decisions? I don't want to comment, because as far as I'm concerned, representation means you make decisions where it matters most. It's about the policy and implementing that policy. You don't want a policy that's going to lie there. It has to affect the people. It has to change the lives of the people and transform them. Literature, empower them. Empower not to give permission, but give them space, tools, education, access, and I think it will help a lot. It will change how society views women, sees women. But when we encourage that as educated people, other people who do not understand do worst, horrible things to women. Because you have to understand that it's something that it has levels. And then at certain levels, children are given to older men as wives. We cannot accept that. So we have to look at it horizontally and vertically. Like just undo and reprogram everything and change. And even women, Mirelle, you'll be surprised. When I did my research, when we were doing the Lady Political Conference, I read about a woman in Africa who was appointed as a parliamentarian, but other women complained. They said, why did they choose her? They should have chosen her husband, because they don't have confidence in her. There are women who do not have confidence in other women. So it's not only, to be honest, the problem is not only empowerment generally. Other women disempower other women indirectly. Maybe they don't know, and it goes back to that issue of the language. The system that we adopted, or that we're born into. They do not understand. They are already used to being controlled or managed by men. They don't have, that confidence. if that is why in Africa most marriages.
Okay, we've unfortunately we lost Khomotso, but she will be back. So what I'm going to do is have one of her address, so that you get an idea of the work that she's doing. She's also involved. She works a lot with politicians, so she's quite involved, on the ground lives, the lives of women and girls. So don't go anywhere. She will be back in a few minutes.
Thobela magagesho. Thobela means greetings in one of the South African languages, which is Sepedi. My name is Khomotso Mashalane. I'm a life coach, founder and director of DK and Puzzle Lifestyle and Empowerment. I will be participating at the Lady Political Conference, and I would like to share with you some of the points that I will be covering at the conference. The first one is, how can we overcome the critical mass approach that assumes that women legislators would primarily focus on women as the core constituency? This approach strengthens the gender stereotypical notion. The second important factor I will be discussing is the critical mass approach, which demands higher and different standards of accountability for women representatives, neither taking into account a multiplicity of stakeholders in the legislative process. For example, civil society, organizations, political parties, national legislatures, and many other factors. The interesting part is that we will identify various training programs. Obviously, programs will not be the same because this is not a one-size-fits-all approach. We will consider country-specific solutions. And we look at specific challenges faced by women politicians in various or in particular countries. So there are possible solutions. I will also be discussing the benefits of women participation in politics. When women are involved in politics, we have tangible results and gains for democracy, including greater participation and responsiveness to citizens' needs, increased collaboration and cooperation across parties, across countries, and it creates a more sustainable peace, global peace. The exciting part about all of this is that we have implementable solutions. One of those solutions is, how do we build a life support system in which current needs are satisfied without diminishing the chances of future generations? Obviously, this is a collaborative effort. This requires enlightened institutions with social, economic, and political agendas that enhance human and environmental development. In closing, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Harriet of Harrington Publications Worldwide for this amazing opportunity that will change the world positively.
So Khomotso is back. Unfortunately, the technology is always something that we have to watch out, but she is back. And we will continue the conversation. She was making some very profound points on, women, disempowering other women, and making sure that we understand, that some of them are some women are actually don't actually know they see other women as threats. It's important to create, the right environment and educate them, to understand that this empowerment is all of us, and it starts with each woman. So, you mentioned the shift, the paradigm shift that needs to happen. I think you alluded to it already from what you said. So can you elaborate a little bit more on that, the type of paradigm shift that is the empowerment happening for women around the world?
Thank you for that, Mirelle. I just believe that we need to change the approach because, when you change a problem, I was looking at one quotation by, but yeah, I think I don't have it here, but it's fine. If you want to change something, you have to look at how this was formed. This was not something that happened overnight. So I believe in education. That I've noticed that even most men do not really know, like, what must we do? What does it mean? What is empowerment? How can we empower women? I believe that our education must integrate issues of women empowerment. It has to be a collaborative effort. All institutions, and that includes the church, because remember, there are churches that sort of endorsed the discrimination of women. I don't know, maybe directly or indirectly. But I don't want to go deeper into that, but I think, it was endorsed indirectly, or maybe they meant well. But we cannot take things that were said 4,000 years ago and implement them today. Otherwise, we are disadvantaging the woman and the whole society. I believe that the education system from grade 1, the boy child must know what it means to respect another woman, another girl. It has to be in education, in all stages of life. It has to be included in our education system. Because, Mireli, if somebody is a physician or a neurologist, nobody can come to a conference or invite you to a conference or 10 conferences, even if it's 200, and say it's because we want you to be a neurologist. It is something that has to change. That is why I said at cognitive level. Remember, cognitive level, it's something that includes the psychology of the person. It is our makeup. We are already designed that way, that there are two different groups of people, there are men and women. It's already designed it as men know. Do you think, and men are not guilty, you can't blame them. But I don't imagine any man looking at himself in a mirror, or any person that is benefiting and saying, I'm privileged. I don't think so. The duty lies with us, but I just want to call upon institutions, that this must be part of the curriculum. Because it is not only it is not only a disadvantage to women, but to us as humanity, because half of the population is underutilized. If you are not using women as a resource of the world, we are underutilizing our resource, because women are resourceful. And maybe that is why the world economy is shrinking, because we are not utilizing all the women. Look at Africa, for example, Mireille. You and I know that if we were leaders in Africa, Africa wouldn't be where it is today. That's my personal belief, because women have a certain way of doing things, and we are nurturing in nature. We are giving. So we cannot, when we have conferences, let's make sure that we have takeaways, we have clear deliverables, which are actionable, that can be measurable. And when we come back, we don't start from scratch. We look at those action points and deliverables, which are measurables. What are the measures? As long as you cannot measure something that you want to do, it means it is not maybe that's serious. It has to be, and there must be a strategy that is cohesive globally, and it must be implementable. Obviously, we look at the different, aspects of different countries. Countries are different. They all have their different challenges. In no way there are different challenges. UK has different challenges, but there are commonalities that we have to deal with, but we have to be united. But I say it has to be integrated into our education system. because we cannot talk about it in conferences and then have a gala dinner and then we go away. There must be a takeaway. We must, and it must be a strategy that is implementable. It must be measurable, and we must measure it and see if it's working and apply it and practice it and measure the impact. Is it impactful? So you and all institutions must collaborate, and that includes media, for example, Mirele. If you want to be chosen as a president, for example, in other countries they write like negative things about that woman, unnecessary things. If Mirele doesn't have a child, how is she going to be a president? When you have a child, they say she has a child. Who is going to take care of a child? Do you realize that there are so many things? So the odds are just against women. So can media also come to the party and try to portray women as, like in a positive way, in a positive way. We're not saying compensate. You don't need compensation. Women are intelligent. Women are hardworking, are confident. So we just need that mind shift. But it must not happen on an ad hoc basis, in a haphazard way. There must be harmony amongst all the countries. We must understand that is something that we must do for ourselves, to enrich ourselves, to improve our world, our humanity. We have daughters, we have sisters, we have cousins who are women. It's a human factor, and there are a lot of men, I must tell you, who are contributing a lot. Personally, I'm where I am because of a lot of men, I must tell you. But they also need that support. It has to be intentional so that we get tangible results that we can see and measure them every 3 years, maybe an aim that in the next 10 or 20 years, we will see, tangible results. And that's the legacy we want to leave. So as long as it is not part of our education system in every country, to sensitize, to conscientize people about it, that it is no longer this can't be glamorized, honestly. It's a humanity issue. It's not really, because it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things that women have to conform to, societal norms. How can she be a politician if she's somebody's wife? Can we try to, even these cultural, aspects, especially in countries like Africa? And I'm not saying we must do away with our culture. No. But every culture must evolve. Every culture must evolve. But what is important, take the core aspect of that culture with you. If I'm a woman, there are certain things that will remain, important to me as a woman. For my family, maybe for my kids, we don't do away with such things. But we are saying, can we adjust? Can we evolve? Can we evolve our culture? Can society also evolve and change how they look at women? Let women be. If she wants to wear a brown hair or purple, please. Can women express themselves? Because that's how she feels. Maybe she is an artist, and let people express who they are. And it always comes back to being authentic. Allow people to be authentic. And that's one important aspect of this paradigm shift. Let's not judge women so harshly. That's where it starts, but it's a long thing. I mean, but let's look at the fact that we start to introduce that into our education system, because this was not something that was, we didn't wake up and find that there's gender inequality. No. It happened over thousands of years. So if you want to change it, in the coming 100 years. We can't change it if we don't change the grassroots, the underlying problem. That from grade 1, when a boy child sees a girl, let him be taught that when I see this person, I see a gift, respect. I mustn't do this. I mustn't say this. This is when I say this, it's wrong. Because if you're gonna tell him when he's a boss that you shouldn't have said that to that woman, as an HR expert, personally, I realized that these people don't understand. Like when I worked with men who were racist, I realized when I was talking to them that this person doesn't understand. It's like a DNA in him. So I think we need to start delayering a lot of things as a society, all societies. Obviously, it will be done differently from one society to another. But I mean, the world, no country must tell me that they are okay as far as gender equality is concerned. I don't think so. Maybe it's just a matter of degrees or extent. But I say if we introduce that into our education system, into our curriculum, maybe as one of those life orientation, subjects, that will be a very good start. And then people will become, the behavior will change. You don't just change behavior overnight. I mean, you have to change the concepts. You have to change what men say to women. The things that they say to women, they're used to them. How do you change them? And they don't see anything wrong. And some of them we accept as well as women because there's nothing you can do. But they are wrong. At the end of the day, they are demeaning. They do something. They do have a negative effect on that person. And when you do something to a woman that has a negative impact, remember, indirectly, it impacts her children as well. If I'm impacted negatively and I have a boy child, I don't think I will be able to give that boy the love, the love that he deserves as a mother. Because a part of your femininity is questionable, it's we always have to change or feel inadequate. I don't know, but personally, I never feel inadequate. I think I noticed when I was young, maybe it's because of my dad raised me in that way that nobody can make me feel inadequate. But I've seen a lot of women. 2 weeks ago, something happened. I sent this friend of mine who's Nigerian a message, a guy. I said, "Can I tell you something?" He said, "What?" I said, "You are anointed." You know what he said? He said, "I know. But thank you very much for noticing that." What I liked is that he knows, he embraces it, he owns it. But tell that to a woman. If you can say to a woman, "You are beautiful," or "You are anointed," or "I love your dress," she's going to say, "Oh my God, but my mom gave it to me. It's a bit old. It was on sale." Really? Are you sure? So that is what I was telling you about. That empowerment begins from within. You must know that you are beautiful. You must know that you are strong. You must know that you are an influencer. Nobody must. Well, it's good when people tell, but own your power. But because every woman has that power within. Every woman, every person, every man has it. Tap into that. Tap into your highest self. When you wake up in the morning, tap into your highest self every day. There are things that will happen during the day that will upset you, but have really, and that is that course that you gave us, that you must always make sure, even if something upsets you, go back to that highest frequency, because the world is going to find you there. The world must never find you down there, because that's where the world will keep you. You are the CEO of your own life.
Yeah.
You see, as women, sometimes we give our position of the CEO to other people. You find that you are Khomotso, but your CEO is somebody. CEO is somebody else. You see, that is something I can never do. You have to be the CEO 24/7. And understand that we have partners, we have bosses and everything, but make sure that at the end of the day, you are the one that is in control. Things will happen to you, but be in control and always be aligned to your high power, your God. I know that we have many religions, you will know, but be connected to that power. And when you are, nothing will shake you. It's not about what is happening externally. It's what is within you. It's what is within you. That's where it should start. The whole thing of the paradigm shift, it's such it's a long topic, really, because I've been reading about it, and it's just a lot. We need to reprogram because we like to belong. Even society, somehow they think they own us. I mean, you find that people want to dictate to women what are they supposed to wear, what are they supposed to say, when. Is she married? Is she not married yet? Is she already married? The husband passed away 2 years ago. I mean, why should you have a calendar for other women? You see, but those are just small things. But I'm just giving you examples of things that can hold women back. But at times, as a woman, you can hold yourself back, not being aware. You find that you are living for the society. You are living to please the society. And if you do that, you must understand, it means Khomotso is no longer there. You have given yourself away. As a result, you will not be happy. And nobody will be happy around you. But you will be happy when you are your authentic self. If you want to wear that yellow dress or purple dress today, wear it. That's how you feel. It's your authentic self. Otherwise, you're gonna feel incomplete. And when you start to feel incomplete, even if somebody comes to empower you, you will not even realize it because you are so depleted. And also, your affiliations as a woman, we affiliate to people who sometimes deplete us. They take so much from us. Can we take care of ourselves? Go fetch yourself, and be yourself. Make sure that you are always complete, so that because we take care of a lot of people. When people come to you, you must make sure that you're always complete. And as Khomotso, not as Mirele, because God created us differently for a reason. The reason why you love that hair, definitely it has to go with your the talents, the gifts, and other, many gifts that God gave you. Who am I to question? Let women be. Let us be authentic. And the paradigm shift begins with that. We like society to dictate, we want to belong, we want to be approved, we like to be, it's my dress beautiful, it's fine. We like to belong or to be taken. Some don't even want to live their lives. You have to live your life no matter what, whether you are married or not. Please just live your life, make a difference, live a life of purpose, find your purpose in life. Don't live for yourself. Think about the future generations. How do you want to impact them? And make a difference. Go and make a difference and live.
Wow, powerful. I'm just how powerful, so many things into all of this. There is a question from Charles. Hey, Charles, thank you for tuning in from Canada. Must be early on your side. Charles is saying, what about the impact our culture and spirituality can have in the of our society, and women playing a key role in this process?
Yes, thank you very much, Charles, for that question. I love it. You're so right. Women are the salt of the earth. Women can be destructive, not being, sometimes you may do it and not being aware. You know, I'm a spiritual woman. 3 a.m. most of the time, I wake up. For some reason, I wake up, I worship, I pray. You know why? Because I have to pray for other people. I have to pray for my kids. I have to pray for people that I don't know. And women must remember, we cannot, Charles is right, we cannot overcome this if we don't tap into the high power. That's the high power I'm talking about. In my case, it's my God, my spirituality. I cannot do without it. You can't do it on your own. But women also, we must also understand this journey of transforming and the paradigm shift cannot happen if we do not align ourselves with the principles of God. We are not saying somebody must be the head, and no, we are saying women must enjoy the rights. It's humanity. Equality is a sign of humanity. So women have a key role to play in changing our society. You are right. As far as spirituality is concerned, that's what I do with our actions. With our actions, giving, supporting, loving, embracing other women, helping young women. I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. But you can't do that if you don't feel complete, if you are not complete. That is why the issue of equality and completeness as a woman is important. We are multipliers. We multiply other women. When you see other young women, it's your role to multiply them. Multiply, don't be a diminisher. When you are a boss, don't close that door. Open it for other women. It's your role to assist other women. And even young men, we also assist them. It's just that, unfortunately or fortunately, my focus is women. Why? Because I'm a believer of the fact that when women are strengthened, they will strengthen men. No man will suffer when women are strengthened. And that's for sure. I'm saying this because I'm a mother. I have a boy. I have sons. I have brothers. It's not in our nature. I don't think inequality is not in our. It's not in our nature. We cannot really look at other people struggling. But yes, we are spiritual. We pray. I prayed before this show. I pray for this show. I pray for people I don't know. But we also have to practice that because God wants us to be proactive as well. I know that I pray, but God wants me to move. If I want to change the journey of women, I cannot just pray and say, please, God, can you assist women? I need to read books and understand what happened in the past. When did this patriarchy start? And ask a white man, when did it start? And that's where spirituality comes in. But I also want to give you this quotation for your viewers, Mirela, that I was looking for. It's by Albert Einstein. He said the significant problems we face cannot be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them. And that is why I say there is a need for a paradigm shift. You can't solve them in the same way. because they were created differently during a different period by people who are living differently. But I do appreciate Charles' question. It's very important. You cannot do anything without aligning yourself with God. That is why all the time I worship, I listen to my music, I pray. I know that there's high power there. You cannot exist on your own. And you have to pray for the world. You have to pray for other people at the end of the day. You can't do it on your own. But God wants us to move. God will not move if you don't move. You have to do your part. And as women, you can't do it alone. You have to be connected to other women. Globally, we can no longer afford to say that one is in Israel, that one is, or it's white, is yellow. Really, that's immaterial. We are the same. Because we have common challenges as women. If you don't do that, women are going to struggle in the future. But let's not forget that God is in it. And God will not be happy when women are subjected to the horrible things that I mentioned earlier. Things like maybe rape, child marriages, mutilation, all those things. I must tell you, the reason why they're happening is because gender inequality was institutionalized in a way. We don't know how. So you can't change it by going somewhere and having lunch, and it's fine, we can do that. But let's not forget that in order to dismantle this monster, we have to dig deeper, go to the underlying ground and lay a new good foundation, which will later also embrace men. We embrace men. Because if we don't embrace men, the reason why I say we strengthen women, because we know that they will be able to help men as well. If we leave men behind for too long, they will become a problem to the very same women that we are trying to empower. And it will become a vicious cycle. And we don't want to see that. We want women who will be able to enjoy men in the world, because women and men need one another. But currently, there is inequality. And we cannot talk about humanity. You can't say you love humanity if you ignore inequality. Whether it's inequality of men but my focus is women. Yes, that's my focus. I think there will be other people who focus on me. Mine is women, because I want to see the balance. And that requires a paradigm shift, so that there is purpose. We do it intentionally with clear deliverables. We want outcome-based women empowerment, not empowerment just for the sake of talking. And women, when you say people want to empower you, or the word empower, in my view, doesn't mean that somebody has the power and is going to bring it to you. Nobody has the power that will be given to you. Every human being has the power within them. We just want to tap into that power, or into all those faculties of your mind, or to redirect or show you. I also need that. Every woman needs that. You need other people to show you. Have coaches and mentors who will show you and direct you that this is how you can do it. But I'm saying we cannot just look at this on the surface. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about it in the next 10 years, the next 20 years, and so on. But if we really want to make a significant change, a significant impact that will impact thousands and thousands of generations to come, We need to go back and look at what happened in the past and what is missing. And what is missing when I look at, the situation is that we don't teach boys from, childhood when they grow up, that this is how you treat a girl. This is how, so that it becomes part, it just comes natural. Because many men don't know what do you mean? Does it mean I must tell a woman that she's beautiful? No, please. Yes, it's fine. But it's really something more deeper. Women need to be able to implement decisions at policy level, where financial decisions are made, where global decisions are made. We really need to be represented there equally, so that we can be able to take care of our loved ones, in a very positive way, just to create balance in the world. It's a humanity factor. We really can't ignore it forever. I think it has become a very urgent matter. If we can say, well, companies can take care of that, but it cannot only be companies. It's all institutions, media houses, all institutions. Churches, please look at your strategy. I'm not challenging any church. I love God. But look at what it does to the psychological, aspect of a person. There are things that send messages. There are unsaid. There's power in the unsaid, things, messages that sort of dictate to women or force women to conform to things which are going to disadvantage them. So we need to look at it positively without blaming anybody. We don't blame men. Blaming anyway is not a good thing. Like I said, the minute you blame another person, you are already lowering your own energy. It's not a good. Nobody is to blame. We as women must take charge of ourselves and take charge and be responsible for another woman. Another woman may be struggling and she may not be aware that she's struggling with something. Intervene or show direction and help in the meantime whilst we see what we can do with the paradigm shift. Maybe the researchers or educators or professors and leaders of the world can understand that this is no longer a problem for women. It's a problem for the world, because we need to have a balanced world that has all its inhabitants contributing equally, to the economy of the world, not only to the economy, but to the wellness, or just for the greater good of the world. Yeah, for the greater well-being of the world. It's not about us. It's no longer about us. It has reached that point. It's no longer about the woman. It's a human factor. And the world needs it. And the world's economy is diminishing. I suspect, well, I didn't do this research. If there are so many people in the world, almost half of those people are not utilized fully. Some are housewives, not paid for being housewives. It means there is an imbalance. And an imbalance is not good for everyone. It means all of us are at risk. I don't know. I don't want to just use words loosely, but I feel like it is not correct.
Things must definitely change. Like you said, there's a lot to be done. And when I look at what, the question that's, Charles asked, it's really at whole level. Like you said, we have to go deep in inside, and really see how the problem started, and it had to be looked at. There's a cultural aspect to it. Look at how our started, and like you mentioned, there's a need to evolve, those cultures. Yes, some of the culture were relevant back, 20 or 100 years ago, but now we can keep, the fundamental, but things need to evolve. And spiritually as well, you talked about the impact of all the churches. A lot of people actually spend time, at church, and tech really and so it's important that, on the spiritual side as well, and especially those representative of God, or the higher power, or whatever it is, be also conscious that it's important that, on that part we evolve as well. So it has been, wow, full of, I don't even know how to describe it. Thank you so much, Komoso, for this amazing, insight, informative, inspiring, everything. And we had also, I want to thank also the audience for the participation. We had people from all over the world, Europe, Canada, Africa. So it has been very, a very good conversation. And we know that it's a problem, like you said. It is a humanity problem. It's not, a woman problem anymore. It is an humanity problem. So that's why we see coming from, and there's no frontier. This problem is happening everywhere. We are all the same. We don't look at the borders anymore. We don't look at the colors anymore. It is a problem of humanity. It is a problem of the world, and we need to take action. And I like the fact that you're talking about, it's not about talking anymore. It's about outcome based empowerment. We need target. We need we need all kind of, key metrics to understand where we're going, where we are, and what needs to be done. And there's an integration that needs to happen, integrating at all level, cultural, spiritual, and gender as well. So it is a full spectrum. There's a lot to be done, but we are getting there. I think it's with conversation like that, and also laying, laying the ideas, and exchanging, that we can start, creating an action plan, a plan that can be, sustainable, to implement and make sure things change. So thank you so much. But before you leave, I just want you to let us know where, the audience can connect with you, because I think you're doing some tremendous things with, I mean, in 1 hour. I mean, we even, almost 20 minutes, because you've done so much, and you're doing so much, that it's really difficult to pack everything in, such a short time. So let us know, how people can connect with you and continue the conversation on the empowerment and the shift that you're proposing. Because, as you know, you're not going to do it alone. There's always, everybody needs to be part of it. So let us know where people can connect with you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much, Mireille. I'm on Facebook as Khomotso Mashalane. I'm also on Instagram. My handle is Futu at Rewoman. Rewoman, REWOMAN. It's Rewoman, like remaking or reshaping, whatever. And my email address is mamanakedi@gmail.com. I think I'll just send it to you. I'm also on LinkedIn, and
We
you can
just
find me.
put it.
Yes.
Fantastic. And just to leave on a good note, um, just to leave on a good note, your last statement to the audience, to anybody listening or to anybody that is going to listen to the replay of this conversation.
There's a lot about this. What I want to say is that the issue of women empowerment is not necessarily the only issue in the world. The reason why we are having this conversation is because we want to live in a better place. It's just about humanity. It is about making sure that all human beings live harmoniously. I love life. I love this world. I want to see everybody happy. So this is just another, let's just say, platform that we created in order to make this world a better place. And we are just trying to create that balance. There must never be any imbalance. That cannot be acceptable. We cannot accept if women are benefiting more than men, or no, that's not what we want to see. Because we want to see happy people, happy children, happy women, happy men. So that is why this is very, very important, because in other parts of the world, this is becoming a problem. Women are struggling. Women are dying. Women are being killed. We can't ignore this, because of the extent to which this is happening in other parts of the world, unfortunately. So I want to leave you with these words. Wherever you are as a woman, make sure that you are not focusing on yourself as an individual. Look at yourself as a multiplier. You can always make a difference. It may not be 100 people, one person. Make a difference. Tell somebody something positive. Help this person. You don't have to spend millions. It may be information. Let's share information. Let's share. Let's have bondages. Let's have linkages. Australia, Ghana, Bahamas. I mean, yesterday I had a conversation with a woman who's in Bahamas who was telling me that, our islands are so disconnected, and as a result, we are far from other parts of the world. You need to help that woman. You can help that woman, even if you are in Ghana or Nigeria. So let's start to look at the world that way, as one thing. Forget about Europe, and let's try to look at ourselves as human beings. And I think in that way we will achieve. That's
Fantastic.
how I look at the world. Yes.
Fantastic and great, great message. Be a multiplier. You can always make a difference. It can be a small difference, but it is a difference. So make sure you take action, you empower a woman in your community or woman somewhere, and make this happen. And also we need to look at this world as an open world without borders, and where we can actually all connect. We don't have to follow the border that were actually created arbitrary. So we need to be able to go beyond that. So thank you so much again, Khomotso, for this amazing conversation. The audience is has learned so much and have been empowered, I think. So we've been talking about empowerment, and I think we've all been empowered today. And it is amazing to see that through a platform like this, something like that can happen. This high energy that happened today is just amazing. And it's actually the conducive to whatever you're trying to do and whatever the message that you're trying to convey. And this message that's important part of it. So thank you so much. Have a great day. and obviously, we stay connected because there's no border between us, and we continue the work of bringing more sisters, more women, more girls to step into their power and to step into the greatness and the gift that they have within them, that the higher power, the God have put in them, so that they can help themselves first, but also help humanity, because women empowerment, it's a humanity problem, as you well stated all over this conversation. Thank you so much. And for my viewer, I'm going to be back with another conversation later. It's going to be, we're continuing to interview the authors of Unshakable Faith book. So I'm going to have Suarez as a guest, and we're going to talk about a chapter in Unshakable Faith and understand how she has built a faith and made it unshakable through a personal journey. So that's all I have for you today, and I will see you in later to talk about Unshakable Faith anthology book, a book that is coming out on the 23rd of June. So don't go anywhere. You can read it. Please make sure you share this show. It has been a powerful conversation. Every single person must know about Khomotso, message. So share. Don't, it shouldn't stop at your level. So see you later. And for Khomotso, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Blessing.
And thanks, I appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.